Hello students. In this lesson, we will explore some important elements of a good statistical study: the variable or data, the sampling or how we collect subjects to study, the type of study, and the possible hiccup while doing statistical study. First is the variable or data. We start with the term parameters and statistic. Please note that this statistic has no S, as compared to the term statistics with the S that you have been introduced to in the previous video. Parameter and statistics relate to the type of data. Parameter is any numerical value that represents the measurement describing some characteristic of a population. So when you have information about the entire population, you can calculate the mean of this population, for example. Then the value of the mean is called the parameter. Likewise, the term statistics with no S is any numerical value that represents the measurement describing some characteristic of a sample. Let's do some examples. Please identify whether the information contains a parameter or statistic. Then state what it is in the context of the following situation. We have a Gallup poll find that 16% Republicans favor the current Congress today. Since this is a poll, it is obvious that we cannot obtain information from all Republicans, so this is certainly a sample. So you see, you need to determine whether the information is from a population or a sample based on the context of the wording. In this case, since it is a sample, the number 16% is a statistic. Next, we have 22.9% of persons 25 years or older in College Park City, Georgia, have a bachelor's degree or higher. Now, this one is tricky. It may look like it does not provide enough information to determine whether it is speaking of population or sample. However, the thing here is it's mentioned as city, and that is. Since this city is not in comparison with other cities or our city in the United States or even in Georgia, we consider it is a population of its own. So the 22.9% is a parameter. Next, please remember that data is information we collect from subjects of study, but it can come from many forms: numbers, name, color, etc. So we have different terms that describe different type of data, and it is important to distinguish data based on the type because of what we will do to summarize and analyze statistically. The first is quantitative. That means data is of numerical value. For example, height, age, shoe size, test score. For qualitative, it has categorical value. Or you may say non-numerical. For example, color, gender, political preference, letter grade. Next, data of ordinal have natural ordering value. What this means is we can distinguish the difference between the value of each, such as temperature. We certainly know that 0 degree is colder than 30 degree. Age, height, and letter grade. We can see the difference of getting an A versus a B. Data that is nominal have no ordering value. There is no universal standard for setting the difference between any two values that are nominal. For example, color. Which is higher, red or blue? And how do you define higher in color anyway, right? Other examples are political preference or gender. Finally, two other terms we use to describe quantitative data is discrete, which means that the numerical value is countable, and listed, such as the number of children in a family. We don't say that a family has 1.5 children, or heaven forbid us to have half of a child. The number of coin tossed before getting a tail, and age. This is tricky. When we are asked of our age on a job application, for example, you don't say 23 and 3 months, 2 days. You would simply write 23. But for data of quantitative nature that is continuous, can be 23.5 or 23 and 6 months because it is exact. So data that is continuous are not countable or listed. Other examples are height, temperature. I will see you in the next part of the video to talk about sampling method.